Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Ram Chaiva Narottam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Ashtapraisha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Nashtikhi Shrunvatam Svakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Adyantosto Yevadrani Viduloki Surutsatam Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 10, Text number 4, Sargo Navavidhas Tasya Sargo Navavidhas Tasya Prakrito Vaikritas Tu Yaha Prakrito Vaikritas Tu Yaha Kala Dravya Gunair Asya Kala Dravya Gunair Asya Trividha Pati Sankrama. Trividha Pati Sankrama Sargo Navavidhastasya Prakrito Vaikritastu Yaha Kaladravya Gunairasya Trividha Prati Sankramaha Sargo Navavidhastasya Prakrito Vaikritastu Yaha Kaladravya Gunairasya Trividha Prati Sankramaha Sargo Navavidhastasya Prakrito Vaikritastu Yaha Kaladravya Gunairasya Trividha Prati Sankramaha.
Sargo Navavidhastasya Prakrito Vaikritastu Yaha Kaladravya Gunairasya
Prati Sankramaha. Sarganavavidhastasya Prakrito Vaikritastu Yaha Trividha Prati Sankramaha. Sargo Navavidhastasya Prakrito Vaikritastu Yaha
Kaladravya Gunairasya
Trividha Prati Sankramaha. Sarganavavidhastasya Prakrito Vaikritastu Yaha Kaladravya Gunairasya Sargo Navavidastasya Prakato Vaikritasya Gunayasya Prividas Patisankramaha. Word to word meaning Sarga, creation, Navavida, of 9 different kinds. Tasya is, Tasya, it's Prakritaha, material, Vaikritaha, by the modes of material nature, to, but, Yaha, that which, Kala, eternal time, Dravya, matter, Gunahe, qualities, Asya, its, Trividaha, 3 kinds, Patisankramaha, annihilation. Translation and purport. Why should I go to our translation? Please repeat. There are 9 different kinds of creations besides the one which naturally occurs due to the interactions of the modes. There are 3 kinds of annihilations due to eternal time. The material elements and the quality of one's work. Purport by Sri Prabhupada. The scheduled and creations and annihilations take place in terms of the Supreme Will. There are other creations due to interactions of material elements which take place by the intelligence of Brahma. Later, these will be more explicitly explained. At present, only preliminary information is given. The 3 kinds of annihilations are: 1. Due to the scheduled time of the annihilation of the entire universe. 2. Due to a fire which emanates from the mouth of Ananta. And 3. Due to one's qualitative actions and reactions. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaskate Taptakan Chanagaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishavana Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Krishna Swadhama Pagate Dharma Jnana Visaha Kalau Nashta Drishamesha Purana Kodhanoditaha Vancha Kalpataruyashti Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Sargo Navavidastasya Prakrito Vaikritastu Yaha Kala Dravya Gunayasya Trividam Patisankramaha. There are 9 different kinds of creations besides the one which naturally occurs due to the interactions of the modes. There are 3 kinds of annihilations due to eternal time, the material elements and the quality of one's work. So we see here that the conversation going on between Maitreya Muni and Viduji. And creations of the cosmic manifestation. And as this verse, it starts with Sarga, just like we know the different topics of Srimad Bhagawatam. So how many topics? Srimad Bhagawatam describes how many topics? 10. Who said 10?
10?
Oh, yes.
10?
10.
Yes. Hare Krishna. So 10, starting from Sarga, Visarga, and so on. So Sarga is basically nothing but the primary creation, as we know from the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, that how Krishna is doing the primary creation, that the Mahavishnu and the Mahavishnu is lying in the Karana ocean, Karana Navajale Bhajati Sma Yogaha Nidramanantam Jagadanda Nidramananta. What is that? Karana Navajale Bhajati Sma Yoga Nidramanantam Shesha Sarvamuku. That he is lying in this causal ocean, and from the course of his body, all these different universes are emanating. And again, so this is Mahavishnu. And again, in each one of these universes, he is entering as what Vishnu? Starting from G. Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. And we see the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu lying on the bed of serpent Anantasesh, right? The famous picture we must have seen. And again, from his navel comes the lotus flower on top of which Brahma is born. And in Brahma is doing the secondary creation, or the Visarga. And again, the Lord enters in each and every living entity as Paramatma or Super Soul, and that is which Vishnu? Starting from K. Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. So this is the different creations, and this particular verse, it says there are 9 different kinds of creations. So Prabhupada in the purport says this is just a preliminary knowledge, and which means in further verses we will know what are these 9 different types of creations. And there are 3 different kinds of annihilations or destructions. And Prabhupada mentions those in the purport. The first one is due to the scheduled time of the annihilation of the entire universe. So to understand this scheduled time, it's more or less like if you have some kind of computer running off, and then you got to reset every now and then. Right? So this particular annihilation is more like resetting this whole cosmic manifestation. It's not destruction, it's not complete annihilation, it's just a reset. So due to the scheduled time of the annihilation of the entire universe, the number 2 is due to a fire which emanates from the mouth of Ananta. And the third, due to one's qualitative actions and reactions, which means probably the individual living entities. So this can go more into technical details, but I would like to share something in connection where Srila Prabhupada, when we came across this verse a few weeks back, Tasyaham anugrahanami harishetat dhanam shane, that when everything is taken away from one self, then that is to be considered as a special mercy of the Lord. So in this connection, we will go to the pastimes of Srila Prabhupada, or Prabhupada Lilamrita, by Srila Satsrup Das Goswami. Maharaj, who has written the biography of Srila Prabhupada, named it as Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita, Volume 1 and Volume 2. So we will read this particular incident or this particular episode where Prabhupada, after there was loss in his business, and all his family members kind of left him because of lack of finance and so many other problems. And then Prabhupada has come to stay in Vrindavan. And this is even before he stayed in Sri Radha Damodar temple. He stayed in Vamshi Gopal temple, on the roof of Vamshi Gopal temple, from where you could see almost the entire Vrindavan and specifically the beautiful view of Yamunaji or Yamuna River. So it's basically, I put it in kind of slides and we will read. And at one point there is a poetry by Srila Prabhupada wherein he kind of refers to this process of annihilation and creation. So we will connect the dots when we come to that poem by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Lilamrit, Volume 1, Chapter 9, entitled Resident of Vrindavan. So this is basically when Prabhupada he was going back and forth to Delhi because he was single-handedly writing, editing, and even printing Bhakti Goddard magazines, and he would go to Delhi almost every day from Vrindavan and come back and do his bhajan. So on the veranda of Abhay, so this is in Vrindavan, on the rooftop of Vamshi. Huh? No. What is the name you said again? The temple? No, Mataji said the third.
I don't remember the second. It's the temple of Krishna's flute.
So on the veranda, Abhay could chant japa and there would be no interruption. He enjoyed a simple, almost carefree life of minimized physical wants. A few hours of rest at night, a little prasadam at noon, the simplest clothing, and he did not have to flatter anyone, support anyone, or manage anyone's life. So more like retired life. His mind and intelligence were free and dwelt constantly on his service to his spiritual master. He saw his present circumstances as a preparation for a greater task before him. Despite his advanced age, he felt that he had barely begun his work. Yet, he felt confident. He had his vision of a world association of devotees. It was not an idle dream, although he was not certain how it would all come about. But he knew his duty. For the present, he would go on describing his vision, the vision of his predecessor spiritual masters, in articles and books. But as soon as possible, he should go to the West. Westerners, he had concluded, were not satisfied with a materially comfortable life, devoid of spiritual understanding. More than his fellow Indians, they would be open to the message of the absolute truth. He knew he should go, and he would go if Krishna desired. So at this same time, Prabhupada was trying with his mission to go to West to preach, and he even went to Mumbai several times. With Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, there were some lectures arranged, and he also spoke at different other engagements throughout Mumbai. But he was not satisfied, and he concluded, oh, this is just waste of time. I better go back to Vrindavan and then plan from there of how to go to the West. So in Vrindavan, Abhay, which is Srila Prabhupada, lived frugally in Vrindavan, keeping exact account of every expenditure and every receipt. He carefully kept a ledger, just as if he were running a substantial business. Even though his purchases were only a little milk, a few vegetables, charcoal for cooking, bus rides, and his major expenditure, postage. So major expenditure was postage, which means he was mailing books and letters. So now comes the poem. I composed a Bengali poem, Vrindavan Bhajan. Its opening stanzas were especially self-reflective and personal. So the poem starts this way. I am sitting alone in Vrindavan Dham. In this mood, I am getting many realizations. I have my wife, sons, daughters, grandsons, everything, but I have no money. So they are a fruitless glory. Interesting word, fruitless glory. Krishna has shown me the naked form of material nature. By his strength, it has all become tasteless to me today. Yasyaham anugrahanami harishyata dhanam shinami. I gradually take away all the wealth of those upon whom I am merciful. How was I able to understand this mercy of the all-merciful? Everyone has abandoned me, seeing me penniless. Wife, relatives, friends, brothers, everyone. This is misery, but it gives me a laugh. I sit alone and laugh. In this Maya samsara, whom do I really love? Where have my loving father and mother gone now? And where are all my elders, who were my own folk? Who will give me news of them? Tell me who. All that is left of this family life is a list of names. As the froth of the seawater mixes again in the sea, Maya samsara's play is just like that. No one is mother or father or personal relative. Just like the sea foam, they remain but a short time. Just as the froth on seawater mixes again in the sea. So this is in a connection to today's words that how this creation and annihilation happens. Just like the sea foam. As the froth on the seawater mixes again in the sea, Maya samsara's play is just like that. No one is mother or father or personal relative. Because in this life we may have this particular set of mother or father or brothers, sisters, wife, kids. And then in next life we don't know what set of this same personalities we may have. There is another example in the Shastra, just like if you see in the ocean sometimes there are these two twigs or the leaves, they come together and they are there for a while, and then after a while they get separated, right? So what is the chance that these same two leaves will come back again and meet each other? Right? Very like if you have this we have this probability equations, and there's almost no chance then. So same way, this set of father or mother which we have now, what is the chance that we may have the same mother or father or personal relative again? Just like the sea foam, they remain but a short time. Just as the froth on seawater mixes again in the sea. The body made of 5 elements meets with destruction, that is annihilation. How many bodies does the embodied soul take in this way? We cannot count. His relatives are all related merely to the temporal body. But everyone is your relative, brother, on the spiritual platform. So now we, like materialists, they always say, oh, you guys, you Hare Krishnas, you're also always talking about negative. But now here, this is a positive perspective to what that negativity may be. So what is the positiveness here? But everyone is our relative, brother, on the spiritual platform. This relationship is not tinged with the smell of Maya. The Supreme Lord is the soul of everyone. But everyone is your relative, brother. Oh, the same one. On the spiritual platform, this relationship is not tinged with the smell of Maya. The Supreme Lord is the soul of everyone. In relation to Him, everyone in the universe is the same. All your relatives, brother, all the billions of jivas, when seen in relation to Krishna, they are all in harmony. Forgetting Krishna, the jiva desires sense gratification, and as a result, he is firmly grasped by Maya. what is that verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita? Krishna bhuliya jiva bhogavancha kare ateva maya tare japati adhare. That one who has forgotten the relationship with Krishna, then he is being tossed away by Maya, hither and thither, life after life. So that's what it says here. Forgetting Krishna, the jiva desires sense gratification. And as a result, he is firmly grasped by Maya. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So there was a beautiful poem by Srila Prabhupada. And because this purport or this particular verse, like it says, although it says about the 9 different creations, 9 different types of creations, it doesn't give in details those creations. So we just have to be patient and wait for the suspense to be revealed slowly. And up to this, if anyone has any questions or comments or would like to add anything, please. Actually, I took this kind of an opportunity to, as part of Srila Prabhupada's disappearance, because we are kind of great-great-grandkids, and we are way below in that line of connection to Srila Prabhupada. So there's always lack of time for us on that particular day, but somehow I thought I would get this opportunity to connect.
You did that.
Yes, this is a really beautiful poem, and it's internal bhava, the mood of Prabhupada, of how he's relishing that ecstasy of being in Vrindavan, but at the same time he's planning on his mission to go preaching to the West, to the Westerners. Yes, Prabhu, you had something?
When I listened to the poem, and Prabhupada said he had not any money, penniless, and all his relatives that left him because he had no any money. And in my mind came the question, is he came to America to make some money?
Not at all.
Good question.
It's a very natural, I mean, even in this world, in the material, with anyone, not just Prabhupada, we see that when we don't have money, then we don't have value in that sense. Especially in this Kali Yuga, that people start distancing from us. Right? If we have money, then everyone wants to associate with you. But once you lack that particular aspect, then they go away. And yes, of course, Prabhupada is struggling, but he never, of course, if he wanted, he would have, immediately kind of strike back and go on with his establishing his business, and he could have become millionaire or even billionaire. But he didn't go after that. That was not his main intention. Even in India, he had his prayer pharmacy, and even the family, the Nehru family, the prime minister, they would order medicines from his pharmacy, right? Although this was a temporary glitch, which in the sense, this is the whole Leela or pastime that Krishna wanted him to go this way. That that's a special mercy of the Lord that he's losing all this money, his relatives, his friends. But then, like your question says, did he come to the West for money? Not at all, right? I mean, he came with a meager, how many dollars was that?
7 or 40 rupees.
40 rupees, right? What is the value of that in that, in 1960s?
$7.
Yes, $7. And what can you buy in $7?
And he had it when he was back.
Yes, and even then he didn't think of, I should go first get some job and then, make some, proper situation for my food, clothing, and this and that. No, he didn't do it. He just straight went on to his mission of preaching, right? Go to the park, chant Hare Krishna, and that's what he did. And he even cooked for all these, hippie souls, right? And he did cleaning himself, everything. One man showed up. Never ever he thought that, I should go get green card or start working or so many other things, right? And of course, Krishna provided. To the point that within 10 years he had more than 108 temples and beautiful temples and millions and millions of dollars worth of assets, right? And he didn't even claim, even after he left this world, it's not that he, wrote checks or he put on his will his family members, no. Right? If somebody would have had that much amount of money, they would put something at least, right? Technically, if we see the Goswamis, right, they even, Rupa Goswami said 50% of, and we can give, but Prabhupada, he did not give a single penny for his family members or anything, but of course for his spiritual family, he has given all these temples and farm communities and this, just like, what is that famous line, is that Bhagawatam Maharaj that your Elvisher ever Elvisher video, he say, Prabhupada built a house in which the whole world can live peacefully. And I like the tone of when he says that. So he built a house where every one of us can live peacefully without thinking about how we can get our next meal. Actually, we are having the best meals here, 3 course, 4 course. We have for the feast, how many course? Chapan Bhog, 56 items. So Krishna provides the best for his devotees. So we shouldn't be afraid of surrendering 100% to this process. And Maharaj always quotes that from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Goptutve, what is that, Maharaj?
Goptutve Varanam.
Goptutve Varanam, that Krishna will always provide, or even that Bhagavad Gita verse says, is that I preserve what they have and provide what they lack. Yogakshema Mahamya. So Krishna will provide, he is already providing, so we shouldn't be scared of that. Yes, sir.
You mentioned that before he went to the West, he tried preaching in Bombay.
Yes, Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, and he had his disciple Acharya Prabhakar, so he invited him to, and he organized because he knew certain people in Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, which is near the Chopari temple.
It must be very unique when after he came to Bombay, and he had one program on the roof of the building, he was sitting on the other side, and all the people from India, they came and he's speaking in a small talk. So at that time they came as a, he already established. So how he felt, between that time. Must have been.
You have to ask Prabhupada, you have to go and ask him how he felt. So I remember that, I think it's there on the videotape too, that he's sitting on the rooftop, and that's one of the buildings which is not there anymore in the temple campus of the Jew temple. There were certain 2-story buildings where all the tenants were, but they were demolished when we had the new project in 2010. And he used to have all the gatherings with
If you see the
Indians.
video, there's one that is sitting behind him, and he's watching and smiling like everybody's coming and giving him the knowledge.
Yes.
And
Because he was, because when Prabhupada came back, like it says here, he knew that Indians, they were trying to follow the West. And this is the story all over the world, they want to follow the West, especially America. And he said that if the Americans or the Westerners, they came, and if they follow this process of Krishna consciousness, then automatically the Indians will take to that too. And Prabhupada was very proud to say this, that, these are my dancing white elephants, right? When all his disciples, they would dance in kirtans in Mumbai Pandal program, whether it be in Mumbai, or maybe whether it be in Gujarat. And he was very proud of his disciples, the Western disciples, and because hundreds and thousands of people would come just to see the devotees, because they had never seen this white-bodied men, women dancing with saris and kurtas, chanting, Hare Krishna, which they have, most of them, they're giving up their own culture and trying to imitate the West. But when we see Westerners following their culture, then automatically they get inspired. And that was Prabhupada's original plan, which became success. That was a miracle, right? I think someone asked him a question, can you show some miracle? And he said, this is the miracle. All these Westerners dancing in dhotis and kurtas and wearing saris. Yes, Prabhu.
So what is the sign? What is the sign that Krishna is pleased with us?
What is what?
How we know that Krishna is pleased with our service?
What is a symptom?
Jai Sri Panchatattva Ki.
Well, that's a question, and that can be another class, just like Mataji says. But in short, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na shotati na kankshati samasarveshu bhuteshu mad bhakti lavate param. In Bhagavad Gita, if you see this verse, and we see the symptom of those who are, or those who have had the mercy of the Lord, Brahma Bhuta, that he is always happy. Prasannatma, that is a Prasannatma, is always happy, is always joyous. What is that? Satchidananda, Ananda, so bliss or happiness. Prasannatma na shochati na shkamshati, so, and there's no lamentation because he's always happy. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na shochati na kamshati samasarveshu bhuteshu, and he is seeing everyone in Krishna, and he is seeing Krishna in everyone. Samasarveshu bhuteshu mad bhakti lavate param, because he has attained devotional service unto me. And there are so many other symptoms if you read Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12 and I think 130. And we can discuss that more, but any other quick comments or questions? And we will wind up here. Thank you very much. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Samaveta Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Jai Guru Bhai Privananda.